Good. There we go. Good morning, everyone. This is Alex Johnson. Welcome to the Tuesday, August 24th meeting of the Plano West Rotary Club. Welcome, and I'm going to turn this over to our past president and Sergeant of Arms, Steve Lawton, who's got nothing but black on his screen. Take it away, Steve.
I don't know why I have nothing but black on my screen. I shouldn't, but I see that I do.
Well, it sounds like
anyway, welcome everybody to our meeting today. I hope you're having an awesome Tuesday. And I see we've got lots of people there at Greek Isles. Does anybody want to start off the brags today from Greek Isles? Hey.
We're working technical issues on this side. You can see us, but we can't see you. So hang on a minute.
Well, wait a minute, Glenn, there's something wrong with Steve's camera. We can't see him either. Can you see anybody else here?
We see nothing. No, we don't see anything on our screen.
Oh. Well, Steve, we will, let's work on the technically enhanced members.
Okay. So, Ms. Jackson, would you like to brag today, Jamie? Are you muted, Jamie? I think you're muted. How about Courtney Gober? Would you like to brag today?
Courtney's live, so he's part of whatever Glenn's working on.
Okay. How about Jennifer Scherzer? Would you like to brag?
Her audio isn't working. Man, you're striking out, buddy.
I know. Well, Patrick Pope, how about you? Arms up. Score. Are you muted, Patrick? I can't hear you.
It seems like he's unmuted, but it's not going through.
Yeah, we can't hear you. But it's not saying you're muted.
I think
okay, connecting audio.
Technical issues today.
Well, you know, we're all new to Zoom, so that's understandable.
Well, who wants to brag?
Can you hear me now?
Buddy.
All right, well, we're back. Okay. Yeah, listen, sometimes computers have a mind of their own, right?
Indeed.
So for the last, I would say maybe 4 weeks, I've been preparing to take this big exam in the financial industry called the Series 24. It allows me to become a principal, which would be more so like a manager over any type of financial institution. And 30 days ago, I actually took it and failed. And I was hard on myself, but I was able to pick myself back up because we learned from our failures. I was able to put in more hours a day with the course material, change up my study habits, and I took it last week and I passed. So that is my brag for today.
That's a huge hurdle.
A
Congratulations.
huge weight off my chest, absolutely.
And a potential huge increase in your bank account.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
All right.
Hey, wait, Steve, before you move off of Patrick, I want to give him a shout out because the district did a welcome our new Rotarian, Patrick Pope, and it has his picture. So thank you, Patrick and Roxana. So if everybody looks on Facebook, you'll see his happy, dazzling financial planning smile.
Awesome. How about John Stafford? John, do you want to brag today?
Well, I have a joint brag with Jamie Jackson, who is also on the call here today. Jamie, you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm here. Hello, how are you?
So we have a joint brag because yesterday in Plano ISD, Jamie, I will let you finish my sentence.
Yes, we were able to get a mask mandate passed with the Plano ISD School Board.
Yay.
So yeah, that's our brag.
Congratulations. In today's world, that's a big accomplishment.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
We'll say to one of our trustees at Greek Isles, thank you, Nancy.
Yes, Nancy, thank you.
Greek Isles, do y'all want to do any bragging yet?
I think they dropped off. I think Glenn's still working on their technical issues.
All right. James Thomas, you kind of there in the background. Do you want to talk about anything this morning you want to brag about?
Actually, no, but I would like to say that I'm living the big dream because I'm here with Dr. Gober and Nancy Humphreys from the IED, and my favorite person in all the whole world is here. That's Fred. Fred's not here, but Benton's here instead. So that's the bit. Fred's not here, so I'm taking Benton as second chair.
James.
Let's brag. Catherine, good one. You want to brag today?
Sure, I will. I am excited that my daughter, after graduating vet school, has finished her residency in pathology at the University of Georgia, and she got her exam done. So that's a weight off of her chest, and is moving on to an additional PhD project. Really one day she's going to actually do real work. I'm trying to figure out when, but.
Congratulations. Mr. Johnson, back to you.
Hey, thank you, Steve. Well, let's move on with the meeting. We've got a great turnout. I think we're missing our in-person group. So fortunately, worst case scenario, Courtney can dial in with his laptop, so we'll see him. We just won't see everybody at the restaurant. So what I'd like to do now is turn this over to, let's see, I've been thrown off here. I screwed up my screen, you guys, so you have to bear with me. Benton. Oh, but he's there. Benton is supposed to do our prayer, but he's at the restaurant and we seem to be offline at the restaurant.
Do you want him to do that now? Would you like for him to do it now?
Yeah, put him in front of your phone, James. Thank you.
Benton, you got to do the prayer. There you go.
Let's pray. Father, we're so grateful that we can hear each other and be together in small groups. And we're asking you to bless our time and speak and encourage us through what Courtney's doing. And we're so glad to have him back in our school district. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Benton. Well, now we're going to ask Miss Catherine, who is online. She's going to lead us in the pledge. Take it away, Catherine.
Yeah,
Yes.
on the screen, so let's just look at the screen.
Sorry about that, had to unmute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and freedom for all.
You do the text.
Thank you, Catherine. All right, what we're going to do now is what we usually do. We're going to share a little bit about the Rotary Foundation. So
So you can do outgoing, you just can't do incoming, is that right?
No, normally we keep them. Normally it's no big deal. Normally.
No, what I'm saying is, can they?
Apologize for all these technical difficulties. Every time I would click somebody to let them in, it would mess up the video. My bad. What's important to understand about the Rotary Foundation is I actually took a training over the weekend, and it actually made a statement that I thought really described the Rotary Foundation well, in that it said, the Rotary Foundation funds service projects for Rotary clubs. And it also funds Peace Scholars. And we are, is she in? We have a new application for a past Rotary Peace Scholar, Kayla Stovall, so she'll be able to actually share with us what it's like to be part of that process. So the Rotary Foundation does a lot. The majority of it is as for funding projects for Rotary clubs such as ours. So with that, let us move on to the next part of our meeting, where we are going to have Roxana. She's going to lead us in the member moment. So take it away, Roxana.
Welcome to our membership moment. Today is a very special day. I am very proud to present a passionate volunteer who firmly believes that nonprofit sector plays a virtual role in creating strong and vibrant communities. I'm gonna introduce you to hold on a second, it's a surprise. Oh, how do I do it? Hold on a second. Oh, what's going on?
We see it.
Oh, you see it?
It's just not full screen, but we see it.
Oh, well, Shannon, you can see it's you. Can you tell us about yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Shannon Maudlin. I am a Texas native. I grew up in Mansfield, just south of DFW, and I've lived in Plano since 2001, I believe. And let's see, I'm a 12-year member of the Junior League of Collin County. I, as Roxana said, like I think that community service is super important. I sit on the board of Turning Point, our rape crisis center. And I'm a graduate of Leadership Plano, class 32, best class ever. And I was super honored to be program director for a year while Carol took a year off. So that was awesome. And a lot of my Leadership Plano fellows are in our Rotary Club. And so this has always been on my bucket list. And I'm super excited to be joining Plano West Rotary. And professionally, I work in McKinney for a company called Mission Advancement. I am the vice president of marketing, and we help nonprofits fundraise. So, thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. That's great. Alex, next to you, back to you.
Thank you, Roxana, and thank you, Shannon. And Shannon has been a delight in our club, you know, as our community service chair and helping us move forward with impactful projects. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to do our club business. So I do want to welcome, or everybody you've been welcoming, Janelle, who are going to be inducting next week. Well, then we're also going to be inducting Michael Cook and Kayla Stovall. You guys haven't received the notice yet because that goes out on Friday. We're going to be inducting them on September 7th. And I believe all of them, well, Janelle, I see Janelle and Kayla, I don't see Michael. So 2 out of the 3 are on here. So everybody continue to welcome them to the club. I also want to point out we have 9 club members who haven't filled out their waivers. I'm going to keep on nagging it. We're so close. 9 out of 68, but Kayla just now found out about it, so she gets a pass. I do want to, every meeting, I'm going to talk about committee chairs that would like more members. Roxana, her as chair of our membership committee, they do a lot. And it's not time consuming. She just needs people in the club to help out in little ways. So contact Roxana. You see her phone number on the screen. You could also look it up in Club Runner. If you forget how to get member information, go on our website, About Us, Tech Tutorials. There's one for getting member information through Club Runner. But call Roxana. She would like some help on everything we do from a membership perspective. For everybody, if you don't remember, membership isn't about recruiting. For us, membership is about retention and engagement. It's like human resources for a company. We want to make sure that we're happy, and that's what Roxana's committee does. So dues, we've got a number of people that haven't paid yet. They were due the end of July. We're going to be invoicing in 30 days. So pay up your last quarter so it's not doubling up for the next quarter. You know who you are. You can use that bit.ly to pay your dues. It's $50 a quarter. Also, as we do, because we have some people that are new in this meeting, we always like talking about the projects that we've done. And we basically do at least one project a week. And so last week, we had the orientation for the TAPI guides, where you can help those with disabilities from home. Preksha is the team leader. She's not on it, but I was one of the potential volunteers. And basically it was an orientation to tell us about how we can help those with disabilities. And it's a virtual project, meaning you get to do it from home. And if somebody's lost, whether they're disabled, whether they're a senior, a vet, even a kid, they pull up this free app and you kind of guide them to where they want to go. It's pretty awesome. So we're excited about introducing it to the North Texas market. In terms of upcoming projects, this afternoon, I think at 3:30, Catherine's going to be leading volunteers to distribute meals at Armstrong Middle School. That is through, well, Courtney will talk about one of the many programs that his group at PISD manages. So we're excited that we're going to be handling 3 campuses this year, once a month. We also have POWS training coming up, Plano Overnight Warming Station, where we're training volunteers to be able to volunteer at the overnight warming station when it gets cold for those experiencing homelessness. You can sign up at pwrc-POWS. And then on Monday, I think it's Monday, we've got another meal drive-through at Rawlinson Natatorium. That's connected up to Williams High School, basically. So you go over there, look for the pool, and that's where they're doing that particular food pantry. Then on Saturday, on the September 4th, we're going to have the first of many every other week groups that are organizing all these collected shoes that are being donated and dropped off at the Wellness Center. Thank you, Joy. And so every other week, we have a group of volunteers that are packaging them up, putting them in bags, using rubber bands, all that kind of good stuff. And a lot of, if you like working with high school students, that particular project is a high school student driven project. It's usually 50 to 75% of the volunteers are from the area high schools. So it's a great opportunity to work alongside people a lot younger than you. And we'll be doing that every other week through October, because that's how long we're doing the shoe drive. And then obviously the shoe drive, if you have used shoes, drop them off at the Wellness Center on Monday through Friday from 9 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And so that's our member moment. What this tells me is I screwed up on our schedule because I'm ahead by 10 minutes. This is baffling. So you know what, Steve, let's do some more brags. We've got more people on. We have until 12:30 before we're going to have our speaker speak. So let's go back and do some brags. Or did Steve here? There you are. Okay.
So I see we've got 19 participants.
Look, and Greek Isles is up and running.
Jennifer Berry Cook, would you like to brag? You do unmute your microphone.
I am not sure what I'm bragging about, but hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
You muted yourself. Janelle, we can't hear you.
Hi, everybody. I am brand new to this, and so I'm not really sure what we mean when we say bragging. So probably not the first
But
person.
I think you would like this happened lately.
Lots of good things have happened lately. My mind is in work mode right now, so there's some really good things happening and at my business, and I'm looking to take on some new staff, which means that we are getting more business. And the kids started school, so that's also really something to brag about. I think everyone feels, besides all of the worries, a little bit freer in that I can do some work. So yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I'd like to brag, Steve.
All right, go ahead.
I finally got the dadgum screen to work.
Determination.
So we can actually see you. Now, if I could just remember what I did for next time. It's working now.
Glenn, you need to teach Steve what to do because we still can't see him.
Yeah, I can't help you there.
What are you bragging about?
That's what I was bragging about.
Okay.
I've been running around there trying to, we couldn't see you on the screen. Y'all could see us and we could hear you, but we couldn't see you. And so now we can. So I can eat this wonderful Greek house food now.
Okay, got it. Kayla Stovall, would you like to brag?
Let's see what I can brag about. Can I just brag about something general, like good health?
Yeah.
Good health and yeah. Yeah, I'll do that.
Well, I want to give a Kayla brag that she's coming back to her Plano West Rotary Club roots. Our club sponsored her for RILA. We sponsored her for Interact. We gave her a scholarship, and then she's had this Rotary journey afterwards. So I'm just happy that she's back in our club.
Yes, thank you for that. I'm happy to be back.
Thanks for joining us today. Marty James, would you like to brag today? Marty?
Sorry, just trying to unmute myself. Well, unfortunately, I can't get my camera to work. And so I'm hoping that my brag will be that by the end of the day, I'll figure out what's going on with my computer so that it'll work.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Okay. Don't feel like the Lone Ranger. 50% of the people on today, their cameras aren't working. So I think there's some kind of technology glitch with Zoom today. It's going to be my guess.
It could be.
Courtney Gober, would you like to brag?
They can hear you, Courtney.
Well, I think my brag would be that we're 2 weeks into the school year. It's been a great start of the school year, a great comeback for our teachers and students, and I was very anxious, I guess, as many people were, and all for nothing because I think everything's going to work.
Thank you. While we've got Greek Owls on, would anybody else like to brag? There's heads I can see, but not faces past Glenn.
This is Joy. I'll brag I always talk about Olivia. My sweet baby, grandbaby Olivia, this 3 started pre-K today, and she did awesome. So
Thank you very much. Anybody else at Greek Isles want to say something today? Sarah Bidwell, would you like to brag?
Well, my bathroom remodel is almost finished. So, it's just 2 weeks overdue. So that's a bit of a brag.
Making you a bit flush, right?
Yeah.
getting bathroom remodels done is always a good thing. Get to start fresh. Sachimo Kalinda, would you like to brag?
Sashimo. His mic is undone, but he must not be in the room.
No worries.
Oh, we lost him. He ran away.
No worries.
Let's pick on Kent Stone.
Yeah, let's get an update from Kent.
I'm proceeding on the new treatment I was discussing last week. Need to wait another week or two before we do any testing and to see success. MRI.
You're proceeding. That's great. How about
Thank you.
Laura Johnson? You want to brag today, Laura? Can't brag about Alex though.
Hi there. Well, I think I'll a little brag on on both my girls. I have two daughters, an 18-year-old and a 14-year-old, and the 18-year-old just went to San Diego State last week. Little bit of a hiccup in getting her there, but she got there finally and started school and already has a job on campus in addition to the other job she has, and already got A's from her summer classes. And then my 14-year-old, she just started at Jasper, and her goal is to get straight A's. She just started cross country. So she is up every morning, like at, 5 in the morning, something like that, something crazy, because she has to be at Plano West at 6 o'clock, I think, every morning. And so she's a complete trooper in that she's stepping up and doing what's needed. So I'm very impressed with both of them.
If I was going to be running this time of year, I think 5, 6 in the morning's the best idea too. Alex, I don't know if there's anybody I haven't called on yet.
Well, I think there's one person at the restaurant, our guest introducer, Nancy Humphrey. You give us some good news. How about non-trustee good news? Because you've had enough trustee action lately.
I'll give you some good news. My son is interviewing for a new job, and I think he's got an offer. So the good news is we have to help him pack and move from Colorado Springs to Oklahoma. I don't know if that's good news.
Great. Is he still in TV media? I don't think they heard me. All right. Well, Steve, I will take over. Thank you very much, Steve. We had this extended brag. Obviously, I don't know what happened to the time. We got extra time. Last time I thought we had extra time, I was wrong. So I'm always afraid whenever I think that. You think after a couple of years, I would have this down. Well, now finally, what we've all been waiting for, where we're going to have our guest speaker introduced, and we're going to have Nancy Humphrey, fellow Rotarian, longtime friend of mine. She's also a Plano ISD trustee. That's why I thought it would be appropriate for her to introduce our speaker today. So take it away, Nancy. I think you have to turn the mic on. Nancy, we can't hear you.
Now go, you're good.
Okay, it was on. It wasn't me.
It was my bad.
I said, I'm really glad to be here in person to have the honor to introduce Dr. Courtney Gober as our speaker. I'm going to read a couple of notes. He graduated, it may be on there. I think it is. He graduated from Morehouse College with a degree in history and sociology. And then he got his master's degree from University of Michigan. He earned his doctorate in education administration and curriculum and instruction from University of North Texas. That's my alma mater in 2012. From 2013 to 2018, he was principal of Rockwall High School, and then he moved to San Antonio ISD, where he was an assistant superintendent. In June of 2020, he reunited with Plano ISD as assistant superintendent for student, family, and community services. Dr. Gober previously served as a teacher and administrator at Williams High School, Jasper High School, and Shepton High School from 2001 to 2013. And he's going to talk to us today about all the wonderful things that he's doing for our community and families and students. So please give a big welcome to Dr. Gober.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you, Rotarians, for having me here today. Let me just get some technology set up so I can share a presentation. Okay. So again, thank you for having me. And there's so many things we could talk about with school and school life, but I choose not to continue the discussion and debate about mask or virtual learning or any of that. Instead, I want to talk about some of the great things that we're doing and attempting to do in Plano ISD. So first, I just want to recognize Nancy, who's here today, but all of our Board of Trustees. They are finding themselves in a very difficult position this day and age, not just our board, but every Board of Trustees. And just want to remind people, these are volunteers. These are volunteers who volunteer often to take a beating. And so I just want to recognize all of them because we have a great, very supportive and informed school board. So I wanted to update some of our data for this year, although I don't have exact numbers. So our enrollment's a little under 50,000, but the rest of these numbers are plus or minus, 2%, because I just don't have the exact numbers in quite yet. All right, I'm going to talk to you guys today about wraparound services and what we do in student, family, and community services. So we have 5 umbrellas. And one of those umbrellas is counseling and academic planning. And that is what you hopefully think about when you think about our school counselors, making sure kids are college career ready, preparing them for PSAT, ACT, and all of that. We do a lot of suicide prevention and handling suicidal outcries. And we are just now starting last year, I should say, we started a huge effort with credit recovery and acceleration. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Then we have our student services umbrella, and under there we started a new enrollment center, a welcome and enrollment center, and I'll share more about that later. And that's also where we take care of student management and attendance issues and other things of that nature. Community and social services is one of the areas that we're really expanding this school year. We're going to have a welcome center, and I'll show you some pictures of that in a minute. And in that welcome center, we're going to have a district clothes closet, food pantry. James Thomas, who's our coordinator, he does a lot of work with our community and also with our homeless families. We're going to have and expand, I should say upgrade and expand our mobile lab, and then have a clinic there where we can do immunizations, hopefully even vaccinations for all of our families and community. So I'll show you some photos of all this stuff here shortly. Then we're gonna look at what we're doing for family engagement. And this is another area that we're expanding. We're gonna have a lot more adult education and parent education and engagement type courses. And I'll give you some information on that. And lastly, expanding our partnerships with different medical centers and hospitals so that we can offer both health clinics and therapy. So I'm going to skip through all of this because I sort of went through that. So I want to start off by just saying we had a great back to school fair that was on August the 3rd. At that fair was at the Clark Stadium. We gave away 2,500 backpacks, 1,000 boxes of food, had plenty of volunteers. I think even some of you all volunteered. Here's some pictures of those great volunteers we had on that day. Traffic was all down the street, and it was a great event. Very hot day, but great event.
Who's the good-looking guy over here to the left? Okay.
Oh, he snagged an innocent woman.
Looks a little like Denzel Washington.
The thing is, James, they're right. There's another good-looking guy, and I think they're more focused on him. Okay, so I want to talk about counseling because our school counselors, as you know, have a big job, but it's even bigger now. And not just because of COVID, but just because of the times that we're living in. And so last legislative session, there was a bill called Senate Bill 179. And Senate Bill 179 told all schools that your counselors must spend 80% of their time counseling. And that is with kids counseling. And so we had to revamp some things we were doing in our district, like many other districts as well, to free up our counselors from doing other things such as being a test administrator or coordinating 504 meetings or things of that nature. And so we have totally revamped our counseling program. So where our counselors really right now, we have them at about 85% freed up so that they can spend that time working with kids, working with families, and doing what they were trained to do, and that's counseling. And there's a full plate of that for them to do. And so we have a new director for counseling. Her name is Dr. Edney, and she has come to us with just a robust package of ideas and things. And so all of our counselors across the district are very excited about the direction things are going. And we're excited because we're glad that they can now spend more time with kids. Also, we expanded our social workers. We had about 9 social workers working with about 13 schools. We sort of changed our formula for social workers. We added one, so now we have 10 social workers, and those 10 social workers are serving all 73 campuses. They each have a caseload of about 6 to 7 campuses. And so what that allows us to do, though, is what we had counselors doing more counseling. And student needs that show up are being handled right there on the campus. But when it comes to those family needs, now we have a social worker that's dedicated and assigned to that campus that can help those families with those needs. While I'm on the topic of counseling, we have a college fair. We had to switch it from an in-person college fair to a virtual college fair, and that's going to be September 25th and October 16th in the middle of the day. All right, this is the thing I'm really excited to talk to you about, and that's our Welcome and Enrollment Center. It's housed at the Byrd campus right there on 18th Street. This used to be our elementary alternative school. We made some changes to how we are working with our students and student management, where we feel very comfortable combining our 2 alternative schools to be 1 alternative school. And that freed up this space for us to have something that we felt was equally needed and important, and that's a welcome center. So we opened it on July 26th, and in about, well, really less than a month, in less than 1 month, 1,680 families came through this welcome center. We had about 170 families per day during our peak week, which was right before the start of school. And at that center, a family can enroll, they can request a transfer, they need help with translation, regardless of whatever the language is, we can help them with translation. We can share and sign them up for some adult education courses, including getting GEDs, including adult ESL or English language learning classes. And we have parent classes. Now, nobody likes to say they're in or wanting or needing a parenting class. So we really call it parent partnering. And so we have lots of those classes and they're filling up. We have our homeless liaison support and tons of those wraparound services that I shared, the food pantry, clothes closet, immunization, social workers, and community partners. This Enrollment Center and Welcome Center is sort of hand in hand with another project that we started in March, and that's called Family Find. And so with Family Find, what it is in a nutshell is an online referral system. So you can go online on our website and you can refer yourself, or you can refer somebody that you know may need help. Now, you can be anonymous, but you can't have the person that you're referring be anonymous because we need to know who to help. But if they need clothes, coats, food, help with utilities or housing, I say that there's should be an asterisk there that, there's certain things that we have to consider with that. But counseling and therapy, if they need technology, either a computer or a hotspot or anything of that nature, we can get them help. Of course, those adult and parenting classes I talked to you about, and immunizations and health. So what we did was we took this Family Find survey and we connected it to the enrollment process and into the school registration process. So now every new family to our district is exposed to these questions, just saying, hey, do you need any of these services? And through that process, we received 21,000 referrals. 21,000 referrals. Remember, we have just about 50,000 in our district. And so those 21,000 referrals, I think we're about 80% through them. And just by asking these types of questions, do you need this? Do you want more support with X, Y, Z? Or did you know we offer these classes or have these services? 21,000 people said yes. And so we made sure they got what they needed. Most of those referrals, I think is important to note, came through our kindergarten roundup. And so that's important because those are usually young families, new families to our community. And we learned a lot from the kind of things that they were asking for help with, which, by the way, was clothes and food and technology. There were some health things as well, but those are primary immunizations because those kids need to get ready for school. So more about our parent education and adult education classes. I have some flyers here, so people in person, I'll make sure they get a flyer, and then Alex, I'll send you a digital copy that you all can share with other people. But we have a very robust set of classes each and every day, every month of the year. And these classes are all free, all taught or facilitated by professionals in these topics. And they range from just, I don't know if I see it on there, but we have grandparenting classes. And these are classes for, as you may or may not know, a lot of grandparents are back in the parenting role. And so it's a whole new day and age of parenting. And so we have classes for grandparents. We have technology classes. I told you about our GED classes. We work with Grayson County College on that. And we have English language classes as well. So we have tons and tons of things. We have one-on-one parental support. If you have a challenge that you just need very dedicated support for, we can help you with that. And tons of things. And so if you clicked on that QR code, it will shoot you to a calendar that shows you what class is offered each day of the week. And so tons of classes and easy to register. Most of those classes are either virtual or in person. And so I need your help in passing that along. And so I'll make sure you guys get a digital copy of that flyer. Last year, we started something I'm very proud of. This is one of the things I think I'm most excited about, and that is the attendance review board. Just so you know, every year we as a district, and this is not unique to Plano, this is most school districts our size, we're sending about 200 plus kids to court, to Collin County Court, because of attendance issues. And so the problem with that was, one, we were putting kids and families in the court system. And two, quite honestly, the court really did not provide that much help. And so last year, some of our staff, notably Sharon Bradley, came up with this idea to have an internal truancy court. But we couldn't call it court because you can't call things court that are not court. So we called ours the Attendance Review Board. And so we started the Attendance Review Board, and different administrators, myself included, were sort of the judge or the mediator. And we saw 227 students go through our internal court, and only 17 did we feel we actually needed to send to the Collin County Court. So we went from over 200 kids and families going to the Collin County Court to 17. But that's really not the stat that I'm proud of. It's really more about those 210 kids that we got back in class, because now they're back learning and they're graduating. I think we have some more pictures here. We had 24 seniors that we got to graduate, and they graduate sometimes throughout the school year. And so we just had the little graduation ceremony right there in our little makeshift courtroom. And so very, very proud and excited about this. Social emotional learning is a hot topic. We've been doing it in Plano forever. And I think we're probably one of the largest, we have one of the largest programs and largest library of curriculum. And so now that it's such a hot topic, we're way ahead of the game. And social emotional learning in a nutshell is, I guess when we were in school, we called it sort of character education. It's character education, but it's, even more than that. So it's all the soft skills that we want our kids to know, and that our community feels important for them. And we integrate those soft skills throughout the curriculum. And so there's a lot of good response from the students and teachers on that. We're expanding our partnerships. We have a great partnership with Children's Hospital with telehealth. So in our schools, a kid can go to the nurse. Maybe they're complaining about a sore throat. That nurse can cut on her iPad, connect to a doctor or somebody from Children's Health. They ask that student a variety of questions with the nurse there, and the nurse has her equipment to do the testing and things that needs to be done. And we can get that kid a prescription ordered for his mom to pick up later that day, right there in the nurse's office. And that's our telehealth, and that's a partnership we have with Children's Hospital. We also have a partnership with SMU and their graduate therapists, students that are working on their therapy degrees. We do family therapy, individual therapy. We do marriage counseling. We do conflict resolution. And we see about 100 families a year. With that, those families pay no more than about $45. And it's a great, great program. And really, most school districts, just so you know, have no way of offering any kind of therapeutic services. And we are one that can, and we do it well. And we're expanding that, by the way. We're trying to get them to go up to about 200 families. Very excited about Capital One giving us a grant to upgrade and enhance our mobile lab. That's sort of like an RV looking bus. Inside of that, there's a computer lab, sit about 12 stations. We're taking our lab back on the road and doing more with adult education and doing more with immunizations. We want to go right to the neighborhoods, right to the apartment complex or the mobile home parks and offer not only adult and parent education, but opportunities for immunizations and vaccinations. I talked to you earlier about our alternative schools. We combined our 2 alternative schools to 1 alternative school. And how did we do that? So it's not like we have less behavioral referrals, but it's how we deal with those referrals. And so we're dealing with them differently and doing more restorative type of discipline. And we hired 3 behavior interventionists that will spend time on campuses to work with those kids that can be a handful. And we did something with credit recovery because a lot of kids are in alternative school, especially the high school kids, for credit recovery. And we put services on each high school campus. We put, long story short, it's sort of an online credit recovery tool where the student can sort of take, if I failed algebra, for example, I could take a test on algebra and all the areas that I did not master, a course will be tailor-made just for those areas that I need more help and support in. And so I will then take that course of those areas I need more help in. And then once I show mastery in those areas, I can pass, or I'll pass and get that credit. And so kids can now get credits. If I'm short, 2-3 credits, we had a kid that came through the attendance review board that earned 3 credits. That's 6 classes, because each class is a half a credit. She earned 3 credits in a little under 3 months. And so that's how that program works. And as long as they show mastery, they will get that credit. We're very excited and very proud to work with you all. And I know Catherine Goodwin is a big part of this, but continue our food drives. I think you call them meal drive-throughs. We work with Minnie's Food Pantry, Trusted World. Trusted World, by the way, is a big, big partner of ours, and I need to do a better job of giving them more shout outs. But going back to that family find, many of the things that when it comes to clothes or food or types of services, we rely on Trusted World to help us provide for those families, and they do a great job doing it, and they do it within 24 hours. So they're a big partner of ours. Also, of course, we work with the North Texas Food Bank and this Rotary Club. And so here are some pictures I had to haggle James Thomas to get. And this is one of the summer drops, I believe. No, it looks like a winter drop.
Yeah, that's a winter drop.
Yeah. So lastly, we continue to work with our students and families on connectivity. This was something that I feel like we talked about for decades. And now the one good thing, I'm sure there's others, but there's one good thing that came out of COVID and the pandemic was we did a great job, and many school districts across the country did as well, making sure our kids and families were connected. And so we still get those kinds of requests, and we have plenty of hotspots and laptops to make sure that no kid or family has a need with connectivity. So that just opens up the doors for so many opportunities across our district. So I know I flew through that as fast as I could, but I do want to save a minute or two for any questions, comments, or threats.
Dr. Gober, this is Alex. I have a question that I always ask our guest speakers. How can we help you do what you do?
Well, great question. And I have lots of answers, but let me give you the top ones. The first one is continue with helping with the meal drive-throughs and the food drops. I think that's awesome. But we are, as I showed you, opening a Welcome and Enrollment Center. And in that Welcome and Enrollment Center, we're going to have a food pantry and a clothes closet. And that is sort of going to be the hub. Now, some of our campuses individually have little food pantries and clothes closets on the campus. But we want sort of a big, sort of centralized unit where we can make sure every kid in our district, if they have that need, we can take care of them. And so I saw you're doing a shoe drive for the wellness centers. Don't want to take away from that. And by the way, when I'm talking about clothes, we're talking about new clothes. We're talking about new clothes. We're not doing laundry and all that. James can barely iron his shirt now. So we just want new clothes and any kind of dry good type foods. And we're working on getting an actual list. And so when we get that list of items needed, we'll send that to you, Alex.
Thank you.
I have a quick question. On the prescriptions for the
We have time for probably 2 more questions.
So we got a question here at Greek Isles, and she's asking about prescriptions.
the telehealth if a kid is in the nurse's office, in the nurse's office and they need a medication, is that medication covered through a grant or is it?
So she's asking about what the Children's Health telehealth program, how that prescription paid for? Well, that student, all the students sign up for it or they decline it. So if they decline it, well, then you just got to go through your normal channels. But if you signed up for it, you had some type of insurance that we will go through.
Okay. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. Love it.
Congratulations.
Hi, Dr. Gober. Maria, can you hear me?
Kayla and then Catherine, go ahead.
Okay. Hi, well, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Kayla, and I do almost everything that you're speaking of with wraparound services and SEL. I do that here at Uplift Education. And I just had somebody on my team go over to PISD. I don't know if you know Brandon Watts.
Yes, know him well.
I think I do know Brandon Watts.
Oh, okay, good.
Yes.
Yeah, but I just want to say thanks for all that you're doing. And I just have a random question because it came to me this morning. We work with Trusted World as well. And we had this weird request of a student. High school students, they use their phones for a lot of the activities nowadays. And this one student from a low-income family doesn't have a smartphone. So have you guys ever had a request for getting a student a smartphone from a low-income family?
Well, we have Chromebooks, the mobile kind of laptop. Not here in this district. I don't have experience with phones like that, but there are some programs that we may look into that I work with other districts to do. But no, the answer is no, not right now. We don't. But there are different ways to accomplish that. Now, there's a program, we wouldn't qualify in Plano, but there is a program that I think it's Verizon will give a cell phone to every student in that district. And so there's programs out there. You just have to find
I'll take a look with Verizon. I've been searching.
And then Catherine. Hey, Catherine. I know Catherine from other things we work.
Hey. Actually, mine is I serve through PTA at a campus that is 70 to 80% Spanish speaking. The parents and families are. The adult education classes and other services, are they offered in Spanish as well? I know there's discomfort from that community.
Great question. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Every class or session is also offered in Spanish. It might be a different time, but it is offered in Spanish. That's a great question. Alex, I know you're probably having heart issues because of the time, but I thank you guys for having me. And if you have any further questions, just let me know and I'll make sure I send you information.
Dr. Gober, thank you very much for speaking to us today. I'm not there to physically present it to you, but in appreciation for your time and program, Plano West Rotary will donate $10 in your name to Rotary's Polio Plus Fund, together with the 2-to-1 matching funds from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Your $10 will turn into $30 that will provide a polio vaccine for about 50 children. And Rotary is this close on eradicating polio. And we also use because we're a partner with the World Health Organization and the UN, Rotary in the world uses our polio infrastructure to aid in the vaccination for COVID-19, because that's another global vaccination effort that we need to eradicate. So This donation, which is in your name, and you're going to get actually documentation from the Rotary Foundation acknowledging your donation, is going to support that effort. And so once again, I want to thank you for presenting to us. This is the second time in, I guess, a year and a half. No, second time in 6 months, because it was January that we had you, Teresa, and Sarah present. And I do want to say personally, thank you for the support that you've provided our club in helping the school district, because you and your staff give James the opportunity, the time, and the levity to make everything happen so we can be active volunteers with you. And we enjoy it. And our volunteers, it's really important that we help the school district make a difference for the kids and the families. And James will be hitting you up for more projects. Well, as we close out our meeting, next week, we're going to have a congressional update from our U.S. Representative, Van Taylor. He's a friend of the club. He's presented with, I think it's been a couple of years, but he does this on a regular basis. So we'll hear everything that's going on in that. So with that, as we close out our meeting, we are going to ask our new member and our member of moment of the day, Patrick Pope. You're going to lead us in the four-way test. Take it away, Patrick.
Absolutely. First is the truth. Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Rotary. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Stay safe and healthy. Bye.